All right, one more time. Grand Rising Elizabeth. It is Friday, April 12th, 2024. And this is Passion and Purpose Friday. I'm Lolly, and this is Queen Aduni. Yes. So today is going to be a power-packed Passion and Purpose Friday. Ooh, I like that. Power-packed Passion and Purpose. Yes. So
Yes.
we're going to get right into it so that everybody who's supposed to share today can. So I'm going to start off with something I was thinking about earlier when I woke up because I was up like really early for some reason.
Mhm.
And I was just like, okay, well, what can I do? Because I need to just find ways to kind of center myself in the morning more and just kind of create some type of routine. And I'm like, well, maybe, reading affirmations, or I'm like looking at different things, just trying to find something to encourage me. And then I was like, you know what? I think I think this is gonna help. So I started looking up different types of proverbs, African proverbs, just proverbs in general, because as we walk into our passion and our purpose, it's really important that we are connected to source, that we walk in wisdom. And so I was thinking, and I found a video that I'm gonna put on 1.25 speed because it's a little slow how he talks, but it's he speaks of 42 African proverbs. However, we're not going to sit here and just listen to some random dude say 42 proverbs until we get sleepy. We are going to be moving our bodies. If you are able, if you can, move your bodies or move your bodies to the best extent that you can. You might be seated, you might not be able to get up. That's also okay. I'm not judging you, but I do encourage some movement. So that's what we're going to do. So basically, while we're listening, we're gonna do a breathing exercise to help us stretch a little bit, but connect with our source, connect with our energy points, and also while listening to these proverbs that we can utilize in our own way to guide us in wisdom through our journey of passion purpose. All right, so I just kind of want to show you what we'll be doing. So basically going through from our crown to our root chakras is going to be a series of things that we're going to do just repetitively, just moving the location, energy location point. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to start off this at heart center. Just this is going to be just our center. Okay, and you're going to take a deep breath, stretch your arms up, and on the release, come back to heart center. And then we'll do it again. Take a deep breath. And this time we're going to go to our crown. You can put your hands on your crown, okay? All right, and you can release. And then when you take a deep breath the next time, you're going to reach your arm up to the sky, reaching to your highest version of yourself, to your highest power, breathing in. And then when you breathe out, when you exhale, you're repelling anything that's not for you. You breathe in. Stretch your arm out wide. Open yourself up to new things, to new beginnings, to possibilities, to blessings, and then you return it to yourself. And you're going to do that with the other arm too. Okay, so take a deep breath in, up to your highest self, your highest being, your highest energy, frequency. Breathe out. You're repelling, dispelling all the things that are not for you. Breathe in, opening up yourself for blessings, for opportunities, for abundance, and you're returning it to yourself. Breathe out. And then finally, take another deep breath in, stretch your arms, and breathe out back to heart center. Okay. So we're going to do that again. We've just done our crown. So we're in the mental space to finish the rest. I'm going to play these, if I can share. I'm gonna play, yes, I can. I'm gonna share these African proverbs for us to listen to. And it's a little bit of meditational kind of music in the background to help you. And at your own pace, just go through your chakras on your body and do the same thing, okay? All right, so let's pull this video up so that you can see. Oh, and just for those who don't know, I will also share this really quickly. Okay, if you do not know where your chakras are, okay? You got your crown, your third eye, okay, throat, your heart, your solar plexus. Think of like where your diaphragm is. And people be like, sing, push. Diaphragm, okay. Your sacral chakra, right underneath your belly button, and then your root chakra. Think about like where your tailbone area is. Okay, I don't need to see you do that. Just saying, just that area. Okay, so we got it. Crown, third eye, throat chakra, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root. So you'll be doing this. We did this crown already. You'll do third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral chakra, root. So if you don't remember anything, you're doing this 6 more times. Okay. All right, cool. Now I'm going to share the video.
And we're going to watch you. And
that's fine. That is totally fine. That's what I'm here for. Okay. Hold on. Make sure I got to move screens around, y'all. I'm sorry. Cool. Okay. Sharing my screen again. Okay.
In today's video, we embark on a captivating journey into the rich tapestry of African wisdom, exploring the timeless words of inspiration and guidance passed down through generations. Join us as we delve into the essence of African proverbs, unraveling their hidden truths and unveiling the wisdom they hold. From the vibrant landscapes of Africa to the diverse cultures and traditions, we invite you to explore the beauty and depth of these proverbs, gaining insights that transcend borders and resonate with the human experience. Get ready to be inspired and enlightened by the wisdom of African proverbs. If you can bear the hissing of a snake, don't complain when you are bitten. Meaning, if you willingly put yourself in a dangerous or risky situation, you should not complain about the negative consequences that come with it. If the rhythm of the drum beat changes, the dance step must adapt. Meaning life is constantly changing and we must be flexible and adapt to new circumstances and challenges in order to succeed. If it is not broken, don't try to fix it. Meaning, if something is functioning well and does not require any changes or improvements, it is best to leave it as it is. Ideas are worth a dime a dozen, but people who put them into action are priceless. Meaning, having great ideas is common, but what truly matters is taking action and implementing those ideas to bring about meaningful change or success. Help me during the flood, and I will help you during the drought. Meaning, if you offer assistance to others in their time of need, they will likely reciprocate and support you when you face difficulties. He who starts his work early enough is neither hit by the severe sun heat nor the burning sand. Meaning, by starting tasks early, one can avoid the challenges and difficulties that may arise later on. He who judges others and never allows to be judged loses friends. Meaning, when someone constantly criticizes and judges others without being open to criticism themselves, they risk alienating and losing the support of their friends. He who has given up doesn't blame the one moving on. Meaning, when someone decides to give up on a goal or relationship, they should not blame or hold resentment towards those who continue to pursue their aspirations. He who doesn't know a grave's coldness doesn't give the dead their respect. Meaning, unless one has experienced loss and grief firsthand, they may not fully appreciate the importance of showing respect and honoring the deceased. He who asks for the meaning of a proverb has called his mother's dowry a waste. Meaning, questioning the meaning of a proverb implies criticizing or undervaluing one's own cultural heritage or traditions. Greed loses what it has gained, meaning excessive greed and a desire for more can lead to the loss of what one has already acquired or achieved. Generally with life, you will be betrayed by close relatives, meaning, unfortunately, it is not uncommon to experience betrayal or deceit from those who are closest to us. Every old man was once a young man, but not every young man will become an old man, meaning aging is a natural process that everyone experiences, but not everyone has the privilege of growing old. It emphasizes the importance of cherishing life and making the most of the time we have. Even though the elephant is huge enough, it cannot carry a big tail, meaning despite someone's size, power, or capabilities, there are certain things that are beyond their control or ability to manage. Even a horn can be stopped from fighting and made to sing forever. Meaning, it is possible to redirect aggression or conflict towards more positive and productive endeavors. Don't wait for an anthill to build up in your mushroom. Better attack its origin sooner than later. Meaning, it is better to address and resolve a problem at its early stages before it grows into something more difficult to handle. Don't let your past dictate your future. Meaning, one's past experiences should not limit or define what they can achieve or become in the future. It is important to learn from the past, but also to move forward and create a new path. Do not tell the man carrying you that he stinks. Meaning, it is not appropriate to insult or criticize someone who is helping or supporting you. Daybreak, mouth open. Meaning, this proverb signifies the beginning of a new day and the opportunity it brings for new possibilities and achievements. Bones and flesh of the martyrs lie buried in earth, but their revolutionary spirit and single-hearted fidelity remain alive. Meaning, even though individuals who fought and sacrificed for a cause may physically pass away, their ideals, commitment, and unwavering dedication continue to inspire and influence others. Their legacy lives on beyond their physical presence. Before you begin to trade and blame, look in the mirror. Meaning, before blaming others for a situation or problem, one should reflect on their own actions and take responsibility for their part. At a hunting expedition, you cannot apportion the meat before you kill the animal. Meaning, it is important to wait until you have achieved your goal or completed a task before reaping the rewards or making assumptions about the outcome. An old woman is always uneasy when dry bones are mentioned in a proverb. Meaning, the mention of certain topics or issues can make individuals uncomfortable or remind them of their vulnerabilities and mortality. An egg shouldn't be deceived by the hardness of its shell. It cannot challenge a stone in a fight. Meaning, one should not underestimate their limitations or engage in battles they cannot win. A woman who runs holding her breast has got nothing pursuing her. Meaning, it is pointless to chase after something or someone who has no interest or value in you. A village without the elderly is like a well without water. Meaning, the presence and wisdom of older generations are essential for the vitality and well-being of a community. A spiritual leader is able to see the past, present, and the future. Meaning, a wise and knowledgeable spiritual leader possesses insight and understanding that spans across time. A short man is not a boy. Meaning, physical stature does not define one's maturity or capabilities. A rat never goes near a cat celebration venue, meaning it is wise to avoid situations or places where one may be vulnerable or in danger. A person is what he eats, meaning one's health and well-being are influenced by the quality and type of food they consume. A man with too much ambition cannot sleep in peace, meaning excessive ambition and constant striving can lead to restlessness and dissatisfaction. A man should not, out of pride and etiquette, swallow his phlegm, meaning it is important to express oneself honestly and not suppress one's true thoughts or feelings. A man and a goat can be friends, but it would be foolishness for the goat to pay the first visit. Meaning, in relationships or interactions, it is essential to exercise caution and not blindly trust others without considering potential risks or consequences. A lazy fly cannot have a taste of a fresh wound, meaning one must take action and put in effort to experience the benefits or rewards. A house is for a voyage, but a tomb is for eternity, meaning homes are temporary and serve as shelters for the living, while tombs symbolize the eternal resting place of the deceased. As the dog said, if I fall down for you and you fall down for me, it is playing. Meaning true friendship and mutual support involve both parties being willing to help and support each other. An old man may miss his target with a stone, but never with his word. Meaning, the wisdom and words of an older person carry weight and are more likely to be accurate and meaningful. Always stamp your hunting nets where the animal is going to pass. Meaning, to succeed in a task or endeavor, one must anticipate and prepare for the expected path or actions of others. A woman who delivers a baby in the market square has nothing to hide. Meaning, one who acts openly and without shame has nothing to conceal or be ashamed of. A tree that refuses to dance will be made to do so by the wind. Meaning, those who resist change or refuse to adapt will eventually be forced to do so by external circumstances. A snake's ears only listen to a stick, meaning some individuals only respond or react to force or punishment. A second wife cannot celebrate the beating of the first wife because that same beating awaits her when the third wife arrives. Meaning, those who participate in or support harmful actions against others may eventually face the same consequences themselves. A pregnant woman cannot claim to be a virgin, meaning
Okay. So, quite a bit of different African proverbs that were listed. They all have some deeper meanings than even what was explained, but just things to think about. One that stood out to me was not to talk poorly of people who want to help you, who are helping you. That was something that is just important for me. It's like a lot of times when there's people helping us and they're like, oh, I see, but you're this person is this and this person is this. And I just want to accept the help. I'm grateful for the other people in my life, for the community in my life. That was just one of them. But the breathing is the biggest thing. I know for me, I feel warm. That was not that much movement, but I feel warm because it's oxygen flowing through. And so just I hope that we were able to kind of center ourselves, connect with our breath, connect with our source, connect with our energy points. And it was helpful for me. So hopefully it was helpful for you. And that is all I've got today.
Wow. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
That was wonderful. Did everybody do it? I seen 3 of us.
I did.
If you
Yes,
didn't,
I did.
you missed out. Oh, good, Joy.
It
Good.
was good.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
mm. Oh, I love you, Lolly. You always come up with some good, you're a teacher.
Yes, yes, yes. A sage.
And a teacher of youth, because you gotta keep it exciting and you gotta come at them. Well, all of us, when we can get it through sight, through hearing, through tasting, through what are the other one? Touching, and there are 5, aren't there 5?
Smell.
Feeling. What's the other one?
Smell.
Smell,
Sense of
right.
smell. Mhm.
Yes, 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 yes,
And
yes.
then the other spiritual senses, which you also captured. So thank you so
Absolutely.
much for that.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yes, yes. So for the next 30 minutes, we're gonna hear from Heather and Heatheru Miller. Wow. And I met Heather through Rasili, and
Mhm.
they have a son. How old is he now?
He'll be 17 in June.
Oh, my goodness gracious. And a beautiful queen. And I don't know a
Blessings.
lot
Thank you.
about her background, but she's going to share. And when I talked to her, well, she's a vendor for the event for the conference. And I got such good news for the conference. I'm telling you, I'm so excited. There's some other exciting things going on in the Elizabeth, some breakthroughs and some just some things to do. So Heather, I'm going to allow you to share your background, and I'm going to pull up your website.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. What is it? I'm to look for it.
And yourinspiredjourney.com. Inspired with a D.
Yes.
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 Yourinspiredjourney.com.
So just ladies and gentlemen, everyone, just welcome Heather.
Thank you. Thank you and I put in the chat box that it was a powerful activation this morning.
Mhm.
And Sister Lolly, I am excited to incorporate that in my start of my day. I do my prayer and my meditation, but I like the way that you talked about repelling. I like the way that you talked about bringing it in, which I think is the physical part, because my prayer isn't physical. And so I think to be able to truly activate, you have to have your full body present. And I think that's a powerful way to do it. So I thank you for giving me my morning routine, something that I can adopt and adapt to start my day centered like that. So I just really appreciate that. And I'm going to incorporate that in as many places as I can to get centered and activated at the same time. So thank you again. I am excited to be here. I've been sending messages out for everybody to have a chance to have this conversation around passion and purpose. I think it's such a significant message for Friday. It is the end of our typical work week, And it's also a time where people gear up to relax. Some people who, turn up on Fridays or the weekends, allow yourself to release and have a different set of energy that you're engaging over, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so I think it's a perfect time to be reminded about our purpose. And I want to just start by saying, and I'll move backward into my journey. But I just want to say that one of the insights that I gained around purpose is that purpose is also social work. We think about a social worker as a role and a job, and the work that they do is to provide resources, but that's what we're all charged to do. We are all, especially if you're walking in purpose, you are a social worker. That means that you are concerned about someone else, because social is our interaction. And so that means you're concerned about the interaction between others and bringing those resources and sharing those resources. And sometimes that is just sharing your journey, because there's wisdom in our experiences, and we want to share that. And we also want to talk about the lessons from our journey. And so that's kind of where I want to go today, and the lessons from my journey that led me to today, and some of the things that we're working through today. And so again, I'm really excited to be here. I serve a dual role. I am the executive director of an organization called Encourage Me, I'm Young. And our goal is the restoration of families through seeding in the lives of boys, and restoration and prevention and intervention activities. And so I have some of my families that will be joining us today on this conversation. That's a part of our program. So I'm really excited to have them here to support, and just to know that they are loved and that they are part of the greater purpose, and so are their sons. And so the other role that I play is a personal change coach with Your Inspired Journey. And for me, that includes my corporate training, that includes workshops, it includes one-on-one coaching, and it also includes my lessons for the journey. And in my lessons for the journey are my books, it is my articles, my blogs, and the messages that I share with others. And so it is the lessons that I learned through this journey. So it's, of course, we have to walk that walk and go through the process, but part of that is so that we can share the lessons from our experience and gain the wisdom from those experiences, so that you don't have to repeat them. And so I'd like to share a little bit about my background in terms of how I got to be a personal change coach, and how I got to be an executive director for Encourage Me, I'm Young. So it starts back really early in my childhood, and I just recently shared a little bit about my journey, about my passion. I started to write by age 3. My sister taught me to learn. My sister taught me to read and write by the time I was 2 years old. So I was pretty fluent in reading and writing by 3 years old, and it came out of my purpose work. So when I was 2, I was the waitress and the nurse for my family. And so um, one day I was sharing with my mom the orders. I had taken all of our family's orders. I had my little notepad and my little pencil, and I was scratch on some paper because I was taking orders. So I handed it to my mother one day, and she said, "I can't read that. That's just scribble scratch on the page." Now, she had never said that to me before. And so I took that as I needed to learn how to read and write, so my mother could take the orders and the prescriptions that I would do when people were sick. And so that really is what started me on my path of writing. And so I won my first contest when I was 6 years old. I was in the first grade, and I wrote a story called The Family That Loves Each Other. And I won a citywide competition. It was really very big. It wasn't a big deal to me, because I had been reading and writing for years at that point. So when they accepted my story, and I mean, it was a big deal, it was on the news, and they blew up my story and my hand drawing of my family at the time, which was many less children at that time, because I got other brothers and sisters. But um, it was such it was such a benchmark for me, and that really helped to support and encourage my love for reading and writing. So currently I have 6 books that are available published, but I have over 80 books that I have yet to release. And
Wow.
so my goal, of course, is to release 10 books a year. And I was consulted at one point, and they were like, that's a lot to try to release in a year. As soon as somebody's digesting it, you're putting something else out. And so I paused for a moment, but then I started to reconsider that I'm not just writing for me, and I'm not just putting those books out for me. I'm putting them out because it is the wisdom, it is the lessons, it is the journey that somebody needs to share with me, so that they don't make the same mistakes or missteps, and it gives them an additional reason to move forward, and to know that they're not alone, because often we feel isolated in the things that we're going through, and we really are not. We just have not connected to the right people who can help you to get through and navigate that journey. So that's part of where my passion for writing came from, my books, my articles, and that side of me. And also how I connect with other people came through that journey, and starting at that age, because I was always trying to care for other people. But it wasn't just helping people when they were not well. It was helping people get to whatever was their next level. And that was always important to me. And so that helped me to find my purpose. That led me through my purpose. And so I have a number of other experiences that we have not enough time to talk about today. But I think it's important that even in our work with our boys and Encourage Me I'm Young, that one of the awareness campaigns that we have and we continue is that awareness around suicide for boys 5 to 11. Boys 5 to 11 are number one dying by suicide. I want everybody to just hear that, and hear that clearly. Boys 5 to 11 are number one dying by suicide. So you have to think about what would cause a 5-year-old to take his own life. You thinking about learning your ABCs, Tonka trucks, and learning how to ride your bike, and so this one of the movements that I'm also a part of is called the Ready Women Collective. And it is specifically to stir our women, our mothers, and our grandmothers, because many of our boys are in our hands. Many of the boys are in the hands of single moms, single households that are headed by women. And it is really important that we understand that regardless of how well we believe that we're doing as mothers and grandmothers, that there is still so much more that is needed from the village. They have to have, and I'm speaking specifically of our sons, they have to have a motto. They have to have that positive male energy. If it's a father, then we need to help build and bridge the gap between the fathers. If it's a grandfather that's present, we have to build that generational gap. If it's an uncle, a godfather, we need to make sure that we're embracing and encouraging those relationships, because our boys are often without the guidance of men, and especially healthy men. And in the absence of that, they have to adapt. And what happens is they often adapt and model mother, grandmother. They also adapt and model the men that they see most frequently, which is typically in sports, and maybe in entertainment, and some form of that. And so we have to make sure that we're engaging and embracing the men in our community to be that positive model. But because we are so often in leadership, we have to be mindful about how we gather them together and how we support them in doing what they are gifted to do. Mothers, women, grandmothers, we're gifted to do a certain service in the roles that we play, but so are the men. And we have to make sure that we're trying to bring balance and understanding, because we don't think the way that they do. That means our sons and our grandsons don't think the way that we do. And so when we have that breakdown and disconnect, we have a lot of additional trauma and drama in our families and our communities. So I just want to make sure that, since there are so many of our sisters that are listening in and will continue to hear this message as it plays, like I played the other shows, I think it's important that we plant those seeds and nurture those seeds as often and as possible as we can, because that's the only way. This new village mindset is the only way that we're going to heal our community, which is ill. And so that's a part of my passion work, and also helping our women get to the next level. Part of the passion in that is that all of us need to continue to elevate. We are by divine design to evolve. And if you're not putting in the work and the steps in your evolution, or there are missteps in that evolution, we constantly spin around and we wonder, why are we repeating the same cycles? And so some things are designed for us to cycle, but it's to elevate us, not to stay in the same lane, not to learn the lessons, not to gain the tools necessary to elevate. So I'll pause in case anybody has any thoughts or questions, because I can go. So
Anyone have any questions or anything? Want to put in?
I have.
I have a thought, well, a statement, Miss Miller, where you said when you were 2 and your mother said that it was scribble scrabble and she couldn't read it. I like how you did not allow her statement to hurt you. You allowed it to motivate you to do better, and I like that. You had 2 choices and you chose the one with motivation and not the pain. I like that.
and not to say it didn't hurt my feelings, but what I know that my mother loved me, and this had been my job. And so I took it now, even as an adult, I see it, that she was trying to help me. Like she was just having a moment. She was just having a moment. But I understand now, looking back, the impact that that had on me. She wasn't trying to be hurtful, and I didn't know her to hurt me at that time. My feelings were hurt because it had always been acceptable. Up until that point, it was always acceptable. But that day, it was no longer acceptable. So I could no longer accept doing it. And so and I thank you for bringing that up, because that is how my mother is even today. My mother is very supportive, and she has an extended family, and she is always looking for ways to help people do what they need to do to be better. And so that is the type of person she is. My mom is 81 now, and she's still working. She works with Focus Hope, and I hope she's listening in. But everybody that knows her to be that person, that if you need help, sometimes whether you want it or not, she's there, and she's going to keep encouraging you to keep going, to do what you need to do to be the person that you need to be. And she's like that with everybody. So I'm glad and was blessed to be in the company of both my parents, my mother and my father, who were always supportive of me and our family. So I come from a family of 7, and we have a grafted in a cousin that became a sister. So it was 8 of us, and that's not easy. That's not easy on a parent, especially younger parents, to raise that many children. And so we had really good examples of that strong presence of a father and a strong presence of a mother in our household. And that was such a blessing. And also that they had it in them to extend that love out to others. So there are other family members that were grafted in over the years who may have needed a mother or may have needed a father at that time, and my parents took them in that way. So I'm very grateful for have been implanted in that space to be able to become the woman that I am today.
I think Joy had a
Yeah, I had a,
have something
yeah.
to say.
You had said that between the ages of 3 and 11, suicide is high.
5 and 11, and
5
Black
and
boys in
11.
particular, and boys in general, but Black boys are number 1.
That is,
And if you notice, we put billboards all over southeastern Michigan to continue to raise awareness. We do video messages, so we send text messages out with video clips around the story, engaging our characters, so that mothers having conversations, fathers having conversations, and boys having conversations. And so it's important that we keep that message alive, because the only way that we can change it if we know that it exists.
Yes, well, that's so awesome that you're taking on this position. What usually is the death? What are usually how do they usually kill themselves? Or
Some it's risky behaviors.
okay,
Some it's taking their parents' medication, overdosing. Some
okay,
is strangulation, hanging, suffocation, and some is running out into traffic, running
okay,
away.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I knew it was high amongst Caucasian. However, I just didn't know. I wasn't aware of it as amongst our community.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why we have to make
Mhm.
sure that that awareness continues, because
Yeah.
we and that you know that there are resources and tools. So one of our partners for Encourage Me I'm Young is CNS Healthcare. And so they're our mental health partner. So they take referrals, whether you have insurance or not. They will see you, especially if you say that I was referred by Encouraging Me I'm Young, but they
Yes.
will take anybody, adult, children, they'll take you in and get you the support that you need.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And also there's a 988 crisis line. So you can text 988 and get somebody on the phone that can help you either talk somebody down or the person themselves. They'll help you. You can call that line. I've called that line too, to help somebody work through a crisis. And they were very helpful in getting them out of the crisis mode enough to get them into a service like a CNS healthcare.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Heather, what is some of the common reasons, if you're able to get to why they did it, or what was showing up as a sign? What is some of the common reasons why these children are just taking their lives?
So a couple of them. So a couple of the reasons is that our children are listening. So whether you think they're in the back seat doing something else because you gave them a tablet, they
Mm-hmm,
hear our conversations.
mm-hmm,
They hear our conversations. Sometimes it's that they feel rejected, or if they see, especially if the father is not involved in their lives, that's another form of rejection. And that's part of the catalyst. Um, it is some of the stresses of boys being kicked out of daycare, because Black boys are 13 times in daycare more likely to be kicked out than in high school. And I know, I know we have some professionals who have a lot more information about that, but that's where it starts. And so in our mentoring program, made a pivot to early childhood, because we're trying to get ahead of that. We're trying to get ahead. So the boys in our program are from 3 to 24. And so we need for them to have a continuum, and the families to have a continuum of access to help support, so that they can address and overcome them, and prevention before it has to be intervention.
mm-hmm,
And there is a preschool to prison pipeline now, preschool to prison pipeline. And so that behavior and that mindset starts from preschool. So, I mean, there are other things, there's other things like what's coded on your DNA and experiences that the mother is having, what the child is experiencing in the womb. Like, there are all of those dynamics. So the
mm-hmm,
things that they're also born into the world with, but also understanding that we are connecting with both indigo children and crystal children. So
mm,
they're here to do a work. Those indigo children are here to tear down old systems. And so they're here. So they're very much rebellious. So they're very much anti-systems that you're trying to force them into.
mm-hmm,
But because we don't have enough knowledge in our community and enough people talking about it, there's some other gaps. So there's some spiritual warfare happening with our children too. And so the images that they're seeing on social media, the things that they've been allowed to see, that's on TV, all of these things, just imagine if they are sponges. So by divine design, they take in as much information as an adult does from infancy. So they're constantly evolving. So they're constantly taking in all of this information. And what you see often is not the most positive, especially when it's the same skin color as yours, or
Mhm.
the same gender as yours. How are our men being portrayed? They're seeing that.
Mhm.
What are we saying about the men in their lives, their fathers, their, men in general? They're listening. Like you talked about having that sensory experience. They're seeing all of this and experiencing it through their senses. So what they hear, what they see, what they taste, what they smell, what they touch, and who touches them. So it's a very integrated system that we have control over, but because we don't have the level of awareness to prepare them and prepare ourselves, we often miss it because we can get really self-absorbed in the things that we're trying to change and just providing every day,
Mhm.
trying to navigate. So it's important that children have both parents. And the other value of that is because you can talk about where you were at that age. You could talk about what happened and what's imprinted on your DNA so that you can start to make the shift so that how it affects them is in a positive way versus in a negative way. So how we direct our children is going to be really important.
Wow. We hear so many cry outs or outcries for our girls, but
Yes.
you're the first one that I really, well, I've heard of other programs, but not to the depth of of our young men, of our boys, and
Yes.
how the world is impacting them.
Yes.
And so I thank you for the work that you're doing. Anyone else has something they want to ask or share?
Sorry I'm late. Uh, Hi Heather.
Hi, Evelyn. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm on my
Thank
way
you.
to a memorial, just the family hour in Pontiac, and I'm late. Anyway, so I yesterday we were RJ was sitting down to dinner, and I have been ever since you told me what you did at the listening partners over there at the Java House. I have given my daughter information about your program, Dietrich's husband, and then there was another young man that came on about health. So yesterday he reached across the table and he had some cut marks on his arm,
Mm.
and I looked at him. Sheena said, "What's that?" And I looked at him and I looked at the arm and I looked at her and I said, I didn't say anything because there's two friends he has in school. One is always talking about suicide. And so when she started talking about it, he went to the counselor and told on her.
Mm.
And because he said, oh no, you're not going to put that off on me. And so
Mm.
she keeps, and so his great aunt died, and so he thought he would try it, and I just walked in my room because I needed to compress.
Right.
um and so Sheena got really emotional with him and told him, oh, we not having that. I mean, I've given her the information, so I am going to make sure she looks at this show
Good.
because she really needs to wake up,
Yes.
because this is why he's here, for us to heal him, for him to heal us. And he sees his father every weekend, except when we have something planned, which we do this weekend. Um,
Mhm.
but it's not all, I don't know. We don't talk bad about him.
Right.
But I always, everybody says my look, my feelings show on my face. So, but
Right.
I've been
Right.
working on that. Um, but I respect that he doesn't always want to go over there, you
Right.
know, and but I just wanted to say that out loud that um I'm helping my grandson, but I'm not his parents, but all I can do is just look, we got to do something, you know.
Right. Absolutely. And also, so I do personal coaching. I do one-on-one coaching. I help our
Okay.
sisters on multiple levels. If we have to move in our metaphysical strengths, that's what we move in. If we move in our spiritual strengths, that's what we move in. So the way that I coach and my approach is based on the individual that I'm working with. And so it's really important that she gets support, because she can't be the full support without going through her journey and going back to her meridian path, which is our backstory. If you look at our lives like a freeway, there's signs, there are on ramps, there are off ramps. There's a zone where you can pull over to the side if in a case of emergency. Like if you look at our lives like that, and you think about are you looking in your rear view mirror? Like I see you driving right now. You have a side view mirror that's small. You have a rear view mirror that's small, but you have a huge dashboard in front of you. And your back window is huge for you to see. But if you're only looking behind you, if you're only looking in front of you, you're going to miss an opportunity to be the best driver that you could possibly be. And so we have to reframe how we are seeing the world. It's not just what's in front of you. It's not just what's behind you. It's not just what's on the side of you. In a car, in a vehicle, you're supposed to be able to see 360 degrees. But it's not always at the same time. There's a time where you have to see in front of you. There's a time where you have to see in back of you. So personal coaching helps you to navigate what that is. And then when you go deeper, and I'm talking about the metaphysics and the deeper spiritual, there's some things that you came here to do. If you don't know that you're already in your purpose, if you don't know that, if you don't know the choices and decisions that you're making that lead you deeper into your purpose, it's not just about your purpose, it's about the elevation of that purpose. Because as you grow, you become a master teacher of your life. And so if you're still a student after a certain age, then you have to put in the work, because we need for you to elevate, especially if you're a parent or grandparent. That means there's a legacy behind you. And if you don't get it now, you are imprinting that information on that DNA. So the more we don't get to get away with anything, especially as parents, you don't get to get away with anything. All of that is recorded. And so you help your children by addressing your past recordings so that you heal those spaces.
Ashe, ashe.
Okay, wow, that's wonderful. Heather, and everyone else on this call, we have a big announcement and some action that must take place with one of our Elizabeths here. Heather, so if you don't mind, Ebony, if we can table what you have to ask, or you want to, okay. And Heather, you have to come back. And now that we know what you do, we're gonna come up with some other things that we can really get into a discussion. We'll give you the whole hour. And because you got a lot of stuff. Heather is going to be, she is one of the vendors at the Elizabeth Visionary Conference. So we'll be able to hug her and get some more information and set up some other things. And now knowing you, Heather, we can also be involved in setting up something for our young men. We got to get the girls, our daughters, our nieces, and now we can get our nephews and our sons and have something under our umbrella that we can bring some young men and some enlightening.
May I just add one more thing before I go? Yes. We have a monthly, so our Ready Women Collective, we have a monthly workshop. We deal with financial, personal, and social, the things that we need to make sure that we are thriving women. And so we have one tomorrow. I invite you to please go to my website and register. I'm putting it in the chat box. Register for the April 13th. It's at 10 a.m. So it's early enough for you to continue your day. Please join us there so you can get some of this information and get the training so that we can be better.
Awesome.
Thank you for that.
Yourinspiredjourney.com.
Yes,
Is
and
that
under upcoming events.
uh
So make sure you're collecting the April 13th. Yeah.
okay. Well, again, thank you. I want to yeah, we want to make this announcement, and I just have a couple of things. If you need to stay over a few, well, let me just say this: next week is rehearsal live. So all the Elizabeths, all the speakers, we will be going through. I encourage you, because we need to start right on time, because for the hour that you have to speak, we want you to do what you're going to do so we can give you some input. So jump on like 5 minutes till. Let's get all the woosah out the way, and then let's get going. It is a live rehearsal. So that being said, we got some serious.
I have a question.
I'm bringing you on, boo.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
So well, come on then. Go on, do your thing, girl. Do your thing. Do your thing. Lakeisha,
Well,
LeGrand.
I'm sorry, baby. I wanted to get Miss Heather's information regarding the event tomorrow. Is that a Zoom or is it a live place?
It's in person. Our monthly workshops are in person. We need to do that together.
Okay, and did you put where the location is? Because I would like to be there.
Okay, I'm so that we can make sure we have enough food and refreshments. We ask people to RSVP. I put that in the chat box, but I can, of course, I'm happy to share that with you.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll put my phone number in there too.
Awesome.
All right, girl. Give us the good news and tell us what our marching orders are between you and Danielle.
I am still trying to recover from last night, okay? But I do have to say, I kind of let him have it yesterday.
Lakeisha did an excellent job last night pitching her what is it? Her passion and her vision and her passion was on point last night. And if you haven't seen it yet, you need to go to Natural Living by Design on Instagram and Facebook and look at the wheels and the posting. I ain't saying who doing it, but I'm just saying you need to go look at it, because you could tell her vision and passion is coming through what she's talking about for this event right here. I'm sorry, Lakeisha, I'm just jumping in because I'm excited as you. I'm just excited as you.
I see Calvin Mann on there. He might not remember me from years ago. I know we was doing something. I can't remember, but I remember him. So those of you don't know, remember I couldn't tell y'all what was going on. It was a secret, because if I told you, then we would have been disqualified. So Natural Living by Design, we remember I'll be telling y'all about the grants. If you don't apply for the grants, then you will not get it. And so I applied for the Motor City match grant. We did get that. We're just waiting on us to be awarded that. We also came into the top 10. There's over 300 companies that apply for the Comerica Hatch Detroit, powered by Detroit, Tech Town grant. And out of that, you really have to have your stuff together. Like you very strict. You have to have your stuff together. So we were the top 25. From the top 25, you can't tell nobody that you made the top 25. Then you have to go, and we made it to the top 10. So last year, we got approved and we made it to the top 25, but we didn't make it to the top 10. I was truly devastated, okay? It took Reverend Omani to help, and you all to help get it together. Y'all was the reason, and Reverend Omani, how I got it together, because I was so disappointed because we worked so hard. And it's not just about me, it's about the little girls that's like me, that have big goals, big dreams, inspiration, and they don't know how to do it. They didn't have nobody. I didn't have a role model. I didn't have nobody to show me how to be successful in business, how to get it. So I've been through all trying to figure it out, So it means a lot to me that my business is successful because I want to make a difference and do it the right way. That they're doing business with integrity in the marketplace. And so we made it to the top 10. So that last night was the reveal. So they got a chance to reveal it last night. And I did not I knew it was big, but I did not know how big this is. This is definitely going to be life-changing for, our company. And so, I just want to do everything with excellence. And I'm telling you, last night I was praying. I said, God, look, what y'all tell me last night? Tell God to hold your hand. I was like, God, hold my hand. Don't let it go. God, don't let it go. And these people spitting out these answers, because everything that I studied for, it was not the questions that they asked, except for one. I said, I was listening to their answer. I'm like, whoa, I don't want that question. Please don't let me get that. I was like, God, you still got my hand. God, you still got my, you still holding on to my hand. So we're at the stage right now, the voting stage. So the public has to vote. Whoever get the most votes are able to go to the top 4. And I know a little bit about social media, but I'm 57. My mom is 75. My other business partner is 60. So to try to do this social media, you know what I'm saying? We need help. I'm gonna have to go old school. I'm telling you, I'm going to the businesses. Because of social media part, I ain't posting not one thing. Because it's
on her personal page. She hasn't posted one thing on her personal page, but Natural Living by Design, last night's will is up there from her talking passionately about what they're going to do with that $100,000. There's some stuff on Natural Living by Design, but yeah, Keisha know I'm gonna get on her because she ain't posted.
Danielle been on it. I'm telling Danielle been on it. And so I called the consultant lady, and I was like, they asked like, what you gonna do with the $100,000? What you gonna do? And so I had a list, but I want to make sure we need this. Like, we need it. And so I said, what can we do with this 100? What I'm supposed to say? She said, no. She said, that sounds good, but that's too long. Go get your business plan. Go look at the numbers. They want to talk numbers, right? So when they came to the part of what you want to do with the money, I let them have it. I was like, we need $86,329.
He went down the
We need
list.
470. I was the only one that did. They was like, dang, I knew all the numbers, y'all. I knew all the numbers. I think I got him with that. But
hold on, Lakeisha. Let me share what you shared last night. I want to share what you shared last night because it was so powerful. I got inspired. I'm like, Lakeisha don't even know what she's saying.
Because said, why you rocking? I was rocking all night.
She was rocking. So I'm going to Natural Living by Design. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
And I want to proud owners of Natural Living by Design. We are a certified 3 female family-owned supplier of health and wellness products. Today, talk about our community project where we want to open up a beautiful Himalayan salt cave spa and float right here in the city of Detroit. It's going to be a state-of-the-art, handmade, crafted with everything made of Himalayan salt from the ceiling to the floor. Authentic Himalayan salt from Pakistan.
Okay.
What the cave would do, it would help people with respiratory issues and skin conditions such as COPD, asthma, bronchitis, also like psoriasis and things like that. It's going to be amazing. There's 7 Himalayan salt caves in Michigan, but there's none in Detroit, 303 and the D. But we're going to change that.
Look, I was so nervous. Look, I didn't even say 313. Here I go, 303.
Yeah.
I was so nervous.
But you did such a good job. I'm like,
Yes. Oh my goodness.
so what we need from the Elizabeths, we need you to show up and show out. Go to Natural Living by Design, share to your stories. And quick tip, if you share, tell other people to vote, you got to put that little hyperlink in a link so people can click on it and share. You share, what is it? Vote for yourself, vote yourself.
Yes. We have material to go out.
Right. Just anything that goes on Natural Living by Design, share it. Just share it. I've been texting people to Juanita, other Elizabeths I haven't seen in a while. Text them, give them the link. The one thing about the link is that you can only use, they are so sophisticated that the IP address. So what it is one device per IP. So in other words, Sheila, you and Pam are in the same household. You have to use a different device because you're on the same IP address to vote. If that makes any sense, Pam can vote if you vote from your computer, Pam can vote from her phone. But you guys use the same device on the same IP address.
Okay.
So so like I have 2 laptops, 2 phones. I got an iPad. I got my desktop. So I'm gonna be voting every day. You can vote
every device.
Every day, 1 time a day. From the 12th through the 8th. I do have 2 people that
12th to the 8th, the 12th of this month to the
12th
8th.
to the 18th.
So voting starts at 12 p.m. today. It starts at 12 p.m. on the dot. And you don't have to be you don't have to be in Detroit to vote. So if you got people in California, Atlanta, if you got Detroiters who used to live here but they don't live here no more, send it to them. You let them vote. They can vote from anywhere. What is it? Like I said, you just got to make sure that different devices on the same IP address. That's it.
And the thing about this, now that I've made it this far, anybody who'd have made it this far, they can never, if they don't make it to the number 1 to win that 100,000, you will never be able to apply for it again. So this is like do or die for me. Like I'm definitely going out of my comfort zone. Like because I'm not the social media like that, I'm going knocking on all the business. I'm about to just go ahead and just groundwork like I'm on an 8-hour job. So like Saturday, I'm waking up at 7 in the morning. I'm going to the Easter market. After the Easter market, I'm going to Black Tech Saturdays. And I would love it for us if we could get together one day to do a couple of videos that I have in mind, but I need a group of people to be behind me. And if you all could do that, that would just mean so much because I'm so thankful and grateful for you all. I'm going to truly be leaning on y'all doing this 7-day journey. And I just feel like it's time is needed, but I do know you can pray, but you just got to put the work. Faith without works is dead. Like I can't, God gave me a second opportunity to win, and I need to do everything that I can, to give it my best. If I don't give it my best, I will have regrets. As long as I gave it my best and the outcome don't come the way, I wouldn't feel because I did all that I could do. So I can't do nothing less. I got to do all that I can do to reach the goal that I have. And I'll be okay with it.
So when you do the call us all together, I just want to encourage everybody to invite others. It's not just us. Invite others to stand behind her when we do this photo op and video.
Well, there is one opportunity at Black Tech Saturday. So I'm calling out all Elizabeths who are going to Black Tech Saturday. We definitely want to do a video while we're there. So I'm asking if you got your Elizabeth t-shirt, wear it. If you don't have a t-shirt yet, reach out to Ebony like today to see if she can put a rush order on a t-shirt for tomorrow. If not, just come as you are. But we are going to meet up at Black Tech Saturday because I know we're passing out flyers for the Elizabeth conference, but we're also going to be walking around with a QR code getting people to vote right then and there because that's the perfect crowd to vote right then and there to get the numbers up for Naturally Living by Design. So that's social media opportunity number 1 tomorrow, Black Tech Saturday, 1 to 3 at New Lab. New Lab is right across the street from the Ford trains, the train station. So I'll put everything into WhatsApp and you can reach out to me because Lakeisha is busy as can be. And I'm a texter. So if you text me, I will text you right back. But yeah, tomorrow.
You want to go early though, because parking is so many people there. So you do want to go early.
You do, yeah. So if we can meet up, if the Elizabeths can meet up, but we can meet up, I don't know, maybe around 12:30-ish. Then that will help because you can get a nice parking spot and then we can, get the lay of the land and figure things out. But yeah, now it's time for us to show up and show out.
Danielle.
And Ms. Miller, I
Yes.
came in on the last end, so I don't know, but I know we was talking about mental. I know I saw the inspiration in the women. I would love, if you need any help, I would be happy to help because I love, I mentor young girls through my sister's keeper, but I love what you're doing so far. I didn't hear everything, but I just saw the inspiration in females, I think is what I heard. So I would love to be there.
Yeah, she works
Yes.
with young men.
I don't know
Both.
everything, but it sounds like her, me, and you, all we need to do. And the listeners, we need to do an event together. Okay, so we'll make it a plan. We got some work to do.
We are so proud of you. And yes, I remember when you were devastated, when it didn't work out and stuff last year, that you had kind of just came in, to the Elizabeth. And so to see, yeah. So we are really just looking forward to this. And we can make it happen for her if, act like it's yourself. Get out there and do it. Because we are one, right? We are one. Oh my goodness. Anything else? And then we're going to close out. I want to make sure that you all remember next week, start on time. You have your hour to do your presentation each day, whoever is your day. I got some great news with the event, the space. They are really working with us. I'm telling you, talk about the food. Razia can do the whole thing and they don't let nobody do this.
Ooh, that's a blessing.
They know Razia. And so I said, look, I got this kind of budget. And when I mentioned Razia, he said, Razia, well, you want to just let her go ahead and do it? Because I was saying, I know y'all's rules and we need the lentil soup and stuff. And he said, Razia, I just saw her the other day. So, and I had already talked to Razia months ago about it. So that is favor of God. That's favor. And we believe you have favor. We know you have favor, Lakeisha. So we're about to go. All right. It is 10:09. Again, I really want to thank my guest, Heather. You are amazing, sister. You are an amazing sister, and the work that you are doing.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch this episode. I can't wait to watch the episode.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Give yourself a big
Mwah,
old
mwah, 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 mwah.
Give
I
yourself
see
a
you,
big
Sharon.
hug. Everybody,
I know.
give yourself a big hug. This is our ending. Hug yourself. Love on yourself. Let's hug the world, and let's really hug and sprinkle confidence and love and peace on our boys, on our young men, and all of that good stuff, life, happiness, peace. And I will see you when I see you, and I love you.
Love you guys too.
Love you guys.
Blessings. Thank you.
Peace.